Chapter 1, From Ashes to Gold. The story begins where most endings are written, in the quiet moments before everything changes. London, 2012. The city hummed with anticipation, its streets alive with the electric pulse of the Olympics. Flags fluttered in the summer breeze, and the distant roar of the stadium was a constant reminder that it was the stage where legends were born. But for one man, the journey to this moment had been anything but ordinary. Mo Farah, known to the world as Mo, stood at the edge of the Olympic Park, his gaze fixed on the towering stadium. The weight of history pressed against his shoulders. No British man had ever won both the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters in a single games. The last time someone had even attempted it was 1984. The odds were stacked against him. The pressure was immense. But Mo had spent his life defying odds. His mind drifted back to the beginning, Hargeisa, Somalia, a childhood shattered by war. The memories were fragments. The sound of gunfire, the scent of smoke, the desperate flight to safety. At 8 years old, he arrived in London as a refugee, speaking no English, carrying only the clothes on his back. The streets of London were cold, the system indifferent. But Mo had a fire inside him, a relentless drive that refused to be extinguished. He ran, not just for speed, but for survival, for purpose, for a future that seemed impossible. The track became his sanctuary, the rhythm of his footsteps, a language he understood better than any other. Every stride was a rebellion against the odds, every race, a testament to his will. By 2012, Mo Farah was no longer the boy who had fled war. He was a world champion, a record breaker, a man on the brink of something extraordinary. But the road to London had been long and unforgiving. Injuries, setbacks, the relentless grind of training each challenge had only sharpened his resolve. He had learned to embrace the pain, to push beyond the limits of what his body could endure. Now, as he stood on the cusp of Olympic glory, the past and the present collided. The stadium loomed before him, its lights blazing like a beacon. The crowd's energy was palpable, a living, breathing force that seemed to pull him forward. He could hear the whispers, can he do it? Will he break the curse? But Mo had long since stopped listening to doubt. The 10,000 meters was first, a brutal test of endurance, a race where strategy and stamina meant everything. Mo knew the field was stacked with legends: Ethiopia's Abraham Jalen, Kenya's Vincent Kiprop, the relentless pace-setters who thrived in the chaos of the long-distance wars. But Mo had a weapon they couldn't match: his mind. He had trained for this, visualized every possible scenario, prepared for every twist the race might take, and then gun fired. The crowd erupted. The runners surged forward, a blur of motion against the track. Mo settled into his rhythm, his breathing steady, his focus unshaken. The pace was fast, too fast for some, but Mo thrived in the chaos. He let the field dictate the early stages, conserving his energy, waiting for the moment when the race would turn. It came at the halfway mark. The leaders faltered, their pace faltering under the weight of exhaustion. Mo saw his chance. With a surge of power, he broke away, his stride effortless, his determination unbreakable. The crowd roared as he stretched the gap, his lead growing with every stride. The final lap was a masterclass in dominance. Mo Farah, the man who had risen from nothing, now running toward history. The finish line loomed. The stadium was a sea of noise, the announcer's voice rising above the din. And here comes Farah, pulling away his unstoppable gold. The moment he crossed the line, the weight of the world lifted. He collapsed to his knees, his hands pressed to the track, his body trembling with exhaustion and triumph. The crowd's chant echoed in his ears. Mo, 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 a sound that would stay with him forever. But this was only the beginning. The 5,000 meters was next. A different beast, a race of tactics and timing. The field was just as fierce, the stakes just as high. Mo knew the pressure would be even greater now. The world was watching, waiting to see if he could do it again. As he lined up for the final, the memories of his journey flooded back: the refugee camps, the relentless training, the moments of doubt that had only fueled his fire. He had come too far to stop now. The gun fired, the race unfolded in a blur of speed and strategy. Mo waited, biding his time, his eyes locked on the leaders. The final lap arrived, and with it the moment of truth. He surged forward, his legs burning, his lungs screaming, but his will was unbreakable. The finish line was a blur of color and sound. The announcer's voice cracked with emotion. Farah does it again, double gold for Great Britain. The stadium erupted. Mo collapsed to the track, his body spent, his soul soaring. He had done it. He had written history. As the medals were placed around his neck, as the national anthem played, Mo Farah knew one thing for certain: as was only the beginning. The boy from Somalia had become a legend. The unstoppable run was far from over. And so The story continues.